As they wanna hear a nice, encouraging word, maybe.
Nice, encouraging word.
We're here. We're back here. Something nice, like that. I mean, just this is nice. Too. This is nice. Come on, I have four great moderators. Don't you think this is enough? Right. I think they're watching. They can just jump in, I guess. There are like 50 people watching. Taking the night off. You never know what's gonna happen in any decent, I mean decent opposition group. Doesn't matter 1%, 1 person, 2 people, or bunch of people, occupy, not occupy, any opposition, any dissent. You never know what's government forces, police, whatever, or other enemies gonna do. Nobody can even guess. It's anything happen any minute. That's what it is. So that's what I'm thinking. That's why I'm here.
What's going on? Still up for your old tricks?
Did you get anything from cops since I left last night?
I got
After
some of my property back.
what happened to it?
My property last Sunday, not this past, but the one before that. I
Right.
got arrested right up here. I had signs on the ground as I was sleeping.
That's the reason they
We had a bunch
arrested.
of signs up. We always had signs up, even while we were sleeping. Signs were up
Right.
during the day. Signs were up. We
Standing
maintained
or
the area,
on
we
the
cleaned area.
on the ground or standing?
So no, I was because they didn't want it leaning up against the fence. So they were okay with us having signs on the floor next to us. And so I'm lying down and I have my signs and I put pennies on them because at around 2, 3 in the morning they came and they took all the signs and they threw them in the trash. And I'm like, yo, this is not trash. He's like, we see it as trash. I was like, there's political messages on here. This is like a form of communication that you're breaking here. This is the First Amendment
Yeah.
that you're interrupting. The reason why signs are left out here is because people come here, they make signs and they leave it out because they know that thousands of people are going to be walking here during the day and they'll be able to see their political message. So basically, I dug a lot of signs out of the trash and I put it back on the floor next to me and I put a bunch of pennies all over it. So
What
that
time? Like in the morning?
If they take the sign, I'll hear it happening and I can stop
In
it
the
sooner.
morning, the early morning?
So early morning at around 7:30, they were saying, take those signs and put them away. Take those signs and put them away.
I see.
And I'm like,
You,
not gonna do that.
after you took them
I'll
back.
pick them up,
Yeah.
but I won't put it away. And I pick it up, and the pennies fall down on the floor and onto the, in front of the white shirt. Lieutenant Manoni was his name. Lieutenant Manoni
Is she around?
was conducting the whole thing. He was
Is
being
she
very.
back around?
At first, we tried to take the signs and stuff like that, and we of course we stood up for our right to protest. We mentioned the Supreme Court and the federal court decision saying that it was okay to protest here in New York, and sleep is a sign of protest. They said that there's these rules, but they never give us copies of these rules or tell us where we can get copies of these rules that exist. And but he was on the phone. He was like, hey, it's like they're saying this and that, or it's like he got guidance from above or whatever, and so he came back with a lot more fierce. And as soon as it picked up the sign and the pennies fell onto his feet, pretty much, as he was like, that's enough, and he arrested me because he was saying a lot of bullshit. It was like, it's not even art. Oh, I could turn this into art real quick. And I started like drawing leaves and flowers around it and stuff like that. So we were kind of messing with him, but it was like, the point is that it's ridiculous. These signs, like, that's the purpose why we're here. If people just walk by and just see a bunch of people sleeping, I think it's just a whole bunch of homeless people seeking refuge here, but it's not.
So
like
they're deleting
There's
the
a
political reality. So they're attacking the freedom of speech right there.
Pretty much, yeah. And but they arrested me. They took all my stuff and then my.
Just for that now?
So Lieutenant Manoni was the one that arrested me, but they gave me to some other guy, and that guy forgot to check in my bags. He left it in the back of the vehicle, so they had a separate voucher for it that I never received, and it's just been a shitstorm. I didn't get all the rest of my shit until today. It took
Wow.
until today to get all my shit, and then even when I got
Torture.
it wasn't all of it. He stole my glasses. He threw away my hygiene gear, my toothbrush.
Eyeglasses, right?
I had some tea tree oil. They dumped that out. I had some water purification drops that were just like mineralized water. That was tossed out, and all the soap and shampoo and stuff like that I had, they tossed out. So it's like, still like all that hygiene gear plus the tea tree oil, and like I had some raw honey as well. It was like maybe like $70 worth of shit that they just threw away.
Why they
My
did
glasses,
it?
my
Why did
shades.
it? To hurt you, right?
Huh?
To hurt you, right?
be assholes. I
Yeah.
don't know. Maybe it's protocol to not have hygiene gear. Almost like you can't check in that shit into the
They
airport.
can't throw
I
your
don't know.
people's stuff like this.
Yeah, well, they do
Protocol.
stuff like lighters for people. They do that all the time. If you have a pack of smokes, they do that all the time. They don't care that that pack of smoke costs you $15 in New York. They're like, you can't have cigarettes, so and we're not gonna check it in for you. So throw it away because I
Throw it away or save it for
or
you.
they just take it, or they just I don't know.
But they're
how they do
supposed
it.
to save it
Yeah,
for you.
they save it
Or
themselves, yeah.
or they're not supposed to even take your freedom like
Yeah, well,
this.
the front is
They're
good,
not.
but
You know,
I
it
think
was
once you
like
turn around, then you're
it was pretty unconstitutional to begin with. He was outright harassing and looking for someone to arrest. And just because I was the one that said I was gonna stand up and say, this is wrong, and your orders are unlawful. And they're like, all right, well, we'll just arrest you and we'll see what the courts have to say about it. And then they charged me with disorderly conduct and made up different excuses. That wasn't even what they were pressing about or talking about. If they came up to me as a human being and say, hey, you're taking up a little bit too much space inside, could you move it just down a little bit? That's no problem, and that's what they put in police report. But that's not what we were talking about. He was saying, take those signs and put them away. He wasn't saying, move in a little bit. He wasn't saying, he didn't mention it. There was nobody walking around. How are you gonna charge someone disorderly conduct for impeding pedestrian traffic when there is no pedestrian traffic? It's like the shit that they just make up. And when it comes to the court, and so it's just a violation, it's not a crime, and so you don't get a jury trial, and so the judge gets to decide whether you can get away with being not guilty or guilty. It's up to him, and it's like it's completely unjust.
Who's gonna fight back and take
And
it?
they knew I was homeless, so they were like, oh well, if you plead guilty and to the crime, we'll waive the fee, and you don't have to serve no time. You do time served, and you're out of here. You're out of the door. It's out of your life. You don't have to deal with it. But if you plead not